Hey guys, Chris here, back from CNH Technology again. One of my friends on YouTube wanted me to do a quick comparison video between the M16 USMC bayonet and also one of my bayonets from my Circle 10 Arsenal AK as well too. So I got them all lined up here for you guys, and I just want to give you a rundown of the actual weight, weight differences and stuff like that, and the overall general features of each one as well too. So we'll start with the AK bayonet right here, specifically for that. This one right here, this is a Circle 10 Bulgarian Arsenal bayonet. This is what it looks like. I got this about, I think about 6 years ago. I got it on eBay for like, I don't know what it was. I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks, but it was considered to be used out there. And this is what it looks like in general right here. It was a little bit beat up out there as well too. So you got some of the finish wearing off from the actual bayonet lug area right here. And it also has the identical matching numbers on the actual bayonet itself right here. You can see the numbers right there. 7376, and the numbers up front also match as well too. And this one also has the wire cutter on the front right here. So basically what you do is you take the bayonet out and you put it up between here, and it basically cuts wires for, like, thin wire cables and stuff like that for a reference point. And on the back area right here, you have your locking mechanism right here in the back. This is your locking mechanism right here, where it actually locks into the front, we won't call fronts, the actual front sight post area. So basically what you do is you push the button right here, and this engages and disengages this mechanism right down inside right there for that. So you can basically push that in, and you can see it going back and forth as it is right there for that, just like that. That locks onto the front sight base. Here's the other side of the bayonet right here for the engagement area right here as well too. So you can see that going in and out like that. And you also have the logo right here. The logo right here is Circle 10. You have the number 10 with the 2 circles on the outside as well too, so that identifies it as a Arsenal of Bulgaria Circle 10 bayonet, specifically for military applications, military use, stuff like that. And you also have up on the actual bayonet sheathing right here, you also have the Circle 10 logo up here as well too. So you have it up in the front, and you also have it on the actual bayonet back here as well too, guys. So that's the 2 areas where it will definitely have the actual manufacturer's maker's mark on there. And you all, like I said before, you have your 2 I'm going to call serial numbers as well too. So before, the first serial number is up front right here, 7376, and the back one right here is on the back portion of the bayonet front, the front hilt, 7376 right here as well too. So you got that right there as well. So I'll go ahead and take it out of here real quick, and I got to put the camera down real quick as well too, guys. So bear with me here for a couple seconds. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're back here again. Got the bayonet taken out of the actual sheathing on here for you, so you can actually see what it looks like here specifically for that. And that's what it looks like with the sheathing out. You have a loop right here that's made out of leather for your belt loop holder right here as well too. So you have a button right there, and you have your other hole right here specifically for that, and you have your belt loop area right here as well too for that, specifically on your sheathing frog thingamajig right here as well too. So this is what your bayonet looks like right here, guys. Here's your bayonet fully exposed on the outside. Here's your front portion right here, and here's the portion right here where you engage and disengage onto the actual wire cutter right here specifically for that. So what you do is you basically put this area right here into this, and you pivot it on the front wire cutter right there, and it basically cuts wire right there using that one specific aspect right there as well too. So this bayonet also has a I won't call serrated edge on here as well too. So you do have a serrated edge on the upper portion of the bayonet right there as well too for reference. So that's what it looks like right there on the outside. Get a better shot here for you, sorry about that. Zoom in a little bit here. I'll roll it around a little bit. Now these edges are not too sharp on here, so if you do attempt to stab somebody with it out there, the bayonet's mainly meant for stabbing purposes out here. not meant for like anything, you know, cutting the wood or anything, or logs or anything else like that for that. So it's basically meant for specifically for, you know, bayonet charges when you're out of your ammunition. So don't try to get any bright ideas where you can actually cut somebody with this thing. This thing's kind of rather dull on these actual blades, and you'd have to sharpen the actual blade up to have them be effective on it, specifically for that as a cutting weapon. Like I said before, they do have serrated edge on here, so you can cut some objects like small tree branches and wood out here for that. So you do have a slightly serrated edge on the back side of the bayonet portion right here as well too. So here's what the bayonet looks like full side. The Russian equivalent looks almost identical to this one. I believe the Russian one has like a slight purple hue to it. I believe they have like a plum color, so there may be slight variations between the Russian and Bulgarian one out here as well too. So I just want to give you a reference of what the actual Bulgarian one looks like for reference, guys. So there's the front portion of the bayonet right there as well too. So there's everything about the Bulgarian bayonet that will fit on your AK-74 style rifle. I have the Arsenal Bulgarian SAM-7 SF rifle, so this thing fits perfectly fine onto the muzzle brake, the AK-74 style muzzle brake specifically. So that'll work with your AK-74 and your AK-47 if you have the muzzle brake that has the AK-74 style design, guys. Okay, we'll move on to the second bayonets we have over here today. The good old USMC bayonets right here specifically. I got two of them actually right here. So there's what it looks like on the outside of the actual sheathing. Go ahead and open one up here for you for reference. I got two of these right here. They're both surplus, used ones specifically for that. And this is what the outside looks like on here. These are both used military ones. I did have to wrap some tape around the bottom one right here, but this thing was extremely stretched out of whack on it. This whole thing was basically, it was basically coming apart on it. So I had to wrap some duct tape or wrap some electrical tape around this bottom portion right here to keep it fully intact on here for that. So this is what the actual bayonet looks on outside with the frog attached. And you also have a sharpening stone on the bottom down here. You have a sharpening stone underneath here, guys, so you do have a means to sharpen your bayonet as well too. Underneath here you have a white sharpening stone directly underneath the actual frog bayonet holder right here as well too. So that's what it looks like on the outside right here specifically for these. Go ahead and flip it around here for the other side. And we'll go ahead and take this one. It should be relatively easy to get this one out because I did put out some oil on the base of the actual knife itself, on the actual knife blade. So we'll go ahead and take it out here. Hopefully it should be relatively easy to come out of here specifically for that. So bear with me here while I get this thing out of here. One-handed, so it might be a little bit difficult here. So apologize for this. Okay, get this thing out of here easy. Okay, there we go. It's getting out there now. Can we get this thing out easier? Come on, move out of there. There we go. Okay. And let me put my camera down just a teeny bit here. Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Got the camera bounced around her a bit. Now we got the bayonet out here, guys. So here's what the bayonet looks like. I do recommend anytime you have a bayonet and you put it back into your frog on there, this thing right here, and these things have a tensioner piece down inside to put tension on the blade. Put some grease on here, or put some heavy-duty oil on here to keep it from you know, binding up down there for the reference right here. I got some little bit of grease on this one right here still, so put some grease and oil on the outside of the bayonet's facing on there for that. This one I got some Mobile 1 WD or Mobile 1 oil on here specifically for this one. So this is what the bayonet looks like on the outside. You got the Combat USMC logo right here specifically for that. You have serrated teeth on the bottom down here as well too. You have a full tang if you want to call it that specifically for that. And you have a nice soft, it's like a soft rubber handle on here as well too. You also have your USMC logo on the back portion of that right there as well too. And you also have your clamps on here where it actually mates up to the front we're going to call front barrel lug on here as well. To these things open up and close, and that's where it hooks on to the front portion of the barrel, and your barrel retains the bayonet in place using the birdcage muzzle brake or birdcage flash, however you want to call it, right here for that. And that's what it looks like from that side. Here's the other side. USMC logo right there as well too. Here's the whole bayonet. And this one is actually sharp on here. They did file down this edge on here, so it is quite sharp on here, guys. So I want to make a note of that right now. These bayonets are pretty sharp on here for that. They are made by Ontario Knife Company. This is the OK. Get the actual name here for that, so you can see that. So you can zoom in here a little bit, guys. Take some oil off here. There we go. It looks better now. OKC3S, made by Ontario Knife Co. And there is a name right there specifically for that, so you have a nice reference of what it actually looks like. So there's what the bayonet looks like on the side. And here's the other side. It says Combat USMC specifically for that. And there's the other side right there as well too. And as our bayonet, or I see the other one I have also in the actual sheathing, it's basically the same thing. There's no real differences between these two bayonets. They are, for all intents and purposes, identical to each other. The only difference is this one right here was a bit more banged up. This one right here was in a relatively better shape right here for that, so they're basically the same. You can typically buy these things on eBay for like, I think about $70 to $80 used. However, you can find what you can typically find maybe a better price if you look on Arms List or some other online auction site as well too. So these ones are basically identical. So we'll go ahead and put a side-by-side comparison between the two bayonets right here for that. The Russian style bayonet from Bulgaria. So this is what it looks like side by side. We'll compare, do a comparison here, and we'll do the frog comparison right here for the actual sheathing right here as well too, so you can see the primary difference between the sizes. So here we go. Okay, and there's your size comparison differences right here, guys. You see the Bulgarian AK-74 style bayonet is slightly shorter than the M16A4 style USMC combat bayonet right here for that reference. So that's what it looks like, comparison view side by side. We'll go ahead and flip them both over right here. They do have different locking mechanisms in the back, obviously, for obvious reasons. We'll go ahead and flip them over here. Put this thing back side by side here like so, so you have a good reference point to go on. And that's what it looks like from the other side point of view, guys. Here you go. Yeah, we'll hold them around here a little bit so you can see it better. This one has a lot of grease on the bottom right here for that. See these things lined up here again for you. So that's what the overall length is. The AK bayonet right here is probably about 1.5 inches shorter right here for reference point right here. The Combat USMC bayonet was primarily meant for a fighting bayonet and also a knife for combat purposes as well too. So you have the size comparison differences between those two right there for reference. And the actual frog is slightly different on here as well too. This one right here is like a thick plastic, like a greenish brown plastic right here. And the Bulgarian Circle 10 one here is a solid, it looks like it's some kind of composite plastic. I really don't know what it's made of specifically. And you have a leather belt loop area right here as well too for reference. This one has like a canvas nylon sheathing right here for the actual portion where it actually retains it to your belt as well too for that. So that's what the size comparison is right here for the actual whole length. We'll go ahead and flip them both over. You can see the back side as well too again. Here's the side. Right there, you have the logo, or I should say you actually have the Ontario Knife Company logo right on one side right here. Here's a side comparison shot right here as well too. And here's a side shot of the Bulgarian one right here as well too for that. Oops, sorry about that. Let's flip it back over in the middle side. There you go. And there you go for that. That's what it looks like. And the bottom side. That's what it looks like on the bottom. Notice they have two different styles of sheathing on the back, different design in general right here as well too. So that's what it has. The Bulgarian one has the knife cutter, or I should say the actual wire cutter. The USMC bayonet does not have that. Here's the other side for reference. And flip them all the way back over again. So that's what the two side comparisons and differences are between these two bayonet sheathings, or frogs, whatever you want to call them right here for that. I basically call them sheathings because your bayonet's being put in there and it's being protected for that for purposes. So that's what it looks like for the actual sheathings on there, guys. And the other photograph here for the, or I should say the video portion for the actual bayonet as well too. Top one, Bulgarian Circle 10 bayonet. That's designed for the bayonet purposes primarily. The USMC bayonet is also a fighting knife as well too, so it is a dual purpose right here as well too for that one specific aspect. So that's what it looks like in general, again, comparison wise. And here's what the other US bayonet looks like, fully sheathed in the actual casing right here as well too. Go ahead and flip these over again. Here's the other side again for reference purposes. The blade on the USMC bayonet is noticeably thicker on here for reasons that it is a fighting knife and it's a multi-function knife. It's a bayonet and a fighting knife, where the Bulgarian one right here is primarily for your bayonet application, and it's not intended primarily for a fighting knife as well too. So that's what the bayonet looks like side by side. It's your locking mechanism in the back here again. Your locking mechanism right here. See, get a better shot here for that. Sorry about that. So that has been the comparison between the two bayonets that I currently have over here for my AK and the M16A4 style rifles over here specifically, guys. So if anybody has any comments, questions, whatnot about what we were discussing here today, feel free to drop me a message, and I'll try to get back to you with some kind of quick information or quick answer to your question as soon as I possibly can. So have a nice day, guys. I'll see you.